supporting our lakes by running on them. How this morning's Frozen Assets 5K helps keep our local lakes clean all year round. And the suspected Chinese sky balloon is no longer over our skies. Earlier today, it was shot down by the U.S. military days after it was first discovered. Those stories and more all coming up right now at 10. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm McKenna Alexander. Runners set some early alarms today for a unique race across Madison's largest lakes. A frozen over Lake Mendota was the scene for the annual Frozen Assets 5K. As our Braden Ross explains, today's event is all about supporting a cause close to many Madisonians' hearts.
When our lakes are frozen, they are truly our frozen assets.
Hundreds braved the cold today to run, skate, and even skydive, all out on the ice.
Runners are finally crossing the finish line of this 5K on a frozen Lake Mendota.
There's a large range of people out there, makes me feel slow.
Runners from across the community say they're here to enjoy Madison's lakes and to help protect them.
One of the best things that I used to do was to actually come down here on Lake Mendota. Whether it was taking a boat ride or just sitting on the lake shores, it was beautiful. And so I feel like it's very important to protect the lakes.
I'm always on the water, so it's just important to keep them clean and do your part to make sure they stay clean.
Executive Director of Clean Lakes Alliance James Ty says their annual Frozen Festival and 5K at the Edgewater raises money to protect Madison's lakes.
Through things like the Frozen Assets Festival, we have raised $1.4 million to give back to community to do projects on the lake.
Ty says he also hopes the festival can help show people how they can enjoy the lakes all year round.
If you've never walked on a lake before, this is a perfect opportunity to come out, walk on the lakes, and experience the glory of it all.
Festival goers could enjoy everything from pond hockey to kite flying on Lake Mendota. As for the runners, most had one thing in mind when they crossed the finish line.
Woo! Congratulations!
We're going to go get beer and brunch and recover, I guess. Try and get warm.
For News 3 Now, I'm Braden Ross.
And although the main event is over, you can still check out some of those really cool kites on the lake tomorrow from 11 to 2. And a live look right now at the state capitol. If you've stepped outside tonight, it's not so bad. Some may even say refreshing as we warm up from a spell of bitterly cold temperatures. Meteorologist Julian Siret is taking in that fresh air out on the weather patio and has details on the first warn forecast.
That's right, McKenna. It is definitely a fresh start to our Saturday nights as we're getting ready to get into the rest of our weekend. And honestly, these temperatures are going to feel pretty good for the next couple of days. Taking a live look outside, very quiet nights, and it's going to be that way throughout all of southern Wisconsin. And it's also not going to be too cold either. Middle to upper 20s for us here in Madison, and the more south you are, the more those temperatures are slowly starting to fall. We're going to have 31 degrees in Platteville, 34 for Monroe, and 34 in Fort Janesville. Wind speeds aren't too bad either, but the reason why those areas closer to the Illinois state line are a bit more mild as of right now is because those breezy winds coming in from the southwest still carrying a bit of that warmer air rolling into the upper Midwest. Wind chill values, though, even though on the surface they're still in the 30s, it feels a bit colder. 22 apiece for Madison and Platteville, with 26 degrees in Janesville and 24 for Monroe. As I mentioned, it is a quiet night. Nothing on the radar except for our friends in the Manitowoc that are looking at some light flurries. But overall, tonight, 26 degrees is where our temperatures are looking to bottom out. Still going to be much milder than it was yesterday. And on top of it, tonight across southern Wisconsin, we're seeing those middle 20s for many of us and lower 30s for Janesville and for Monroe. We're going to play out the rest of the weekend and a preview of what we can expect for next week in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
Just shot it, dude. They shot it.
They just shot it.
They did?
Yep, they just blew it up. See the balloon falling?
Now to a story we've all been following closely the last 3 days. A U.S. fighter jet shooting down the suspected Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina this afternoon, just days after it was first discovered in the skies of Montana. Now, the balloon's flight across the nation created an international incident and has increased what were already tense relations between both powerful countries. Michael George shares what we know at this hour.
They just shot it. See the smoke coming from it? The Pentagon says an American fighter jet shot down the Chinese spy balloon just off the South Carolina coast on Saturday. A senior defense official says an F-22 out of Virginia's Langley Air Force Base took out the balloon with one air-to-air missile. The solar-powered object was flying at an altitude of 60 to 65,000 feet before it was blown out of the sky. Shortly after, President Biden said he ordered the move as the balloon was making its days-long cross-country journey, widening a growing rift between the U.S. and China.
It successfully took it down, and I want to compliment our aviators who did it. I told them to shoot it down.
On Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
But the recommendation
They said to me, let's wait till the safest place to do it.
Earlier this week, the balloon was spotted over Montana, home to sensitive military sites, then Missouri, and it continued to head east to the Carolinas. The incident prompted Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Friday to postpone his planned visit to Beijing this weekend.
It's a violation of our sovereignty. It's a violation of international law.
China expressed its strong dissatisfaction over the shootdown, claiming, as it had during the week, that the balloon was for civilian use and entered U.S. airspace accidentally. With the surveillance balloon now down, the recovery operation is underway. Navy ships are conducting payload recovery efforts for the remains, which formed a 7-mile debris field over the Atlantic Ocean. Michael George, CBS News.
Plane operations at 3 major airports in the Carolinas, Wilmington, Myrtle Beach, and Charleston, were briefly paused as the FAA issued a ground stop ahead of the shoot-down to protect airspace. If you're flying out of one of those airports and your flight was impacted, that's probably the last thing you wanted to hear.
As the way in, we got to look up and you could see the balloon and saw the jets kind of circling it and whatnot. And now we're trying to fly from Myrtle Beach to Charlotte, and then from Charlotte to Chicago, and then from Chicago to Rochester. However, we're going to pretty much miss all these flights.
Traffic at those airports has since resumed. Back here in southern Wisconsin, we're learning new information tonight about what prompted police officers to respond near Jefferson Middle and Memorial High Schools early yesterday evening. In a message to families of both schools, the principals say one person was seriously hurt in an incident at Lucier Center, which is just north of both schools. That person was not directly connected with either school, and police are not sharing any more information about that person or how they were hurt. Instead, they're saying that there was never a threat to the public. Brand new at 10 tonight, the Chazen Museum of Art debuted the results of a 2+ year study on a historic sculpture in its collection and that sculpture's complex history. Emancipation Group is a statue in the museum's collection that was made by late 19th century sculptor Thomas Ball. The statue depicts President Abraham Lincoln standing over a kneeling freedman, but in recent years, the sculpture has been criticized for not giving justice to the role African Americans played in their own liberation. Using the sculpture as its central focus, a new exhibit known as Re-Emancipation is helping further explore, dissect, and better understand racism in America.
Could we do something to help us understand why this work is so problematic? And instead of taking it off cue, could we actually help people explore what it means and understand the sculpture in a more complex way?
You have plenty of time to check out the exhibit for yourself. It'll be around until June 25th. Multiple families are without a home tonight after an apartment fire on Madison's north side this morning completely destroyed 1 unit and damaged 3 others. Fire crews say it was caused by a grease fire in someone's kitchen. It happened at an apartment complex on the 700 block of Vera Court around 11:30 a.m. When firefighters arrived, they reportedly saw smoke coming from the 2nd floor of the building. The fire is estimated to have caused $100,000 worth of damage, but luckily no one was hurt in that incident. The former treasurer for the town of Excelsior is accused of stealing property tax payments. 36-year-old Brittany Siverud was charged in Sauk County with theft from a business setting and misconduct in public office. It's alleged she stole over $8,000 in property tax payments, diverting those to her personal checking account. If convicted, she faces up to 9.5 years in prison and $20,000 in fines. In more local news, a late-night challenge at the bar in 2005 has now impacted thousands of Madisonians in the last 18 years. Paul Hendrickson has been serving hot meals twice a week ever since, and it all culminates at the annual fundraiser called Grilling for Peace, where our Andrew Banstra was earlier today.
The year is 2005. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and Paul's at the bar with his friends, angry at the government's lack of response to Hurricane Katrina.
So my friend challenged me, well, what can you do? And I said, well, this is like midnight, and I was like, hey, let's make pancakes.
So they did.
And we went downtown with these hot little cakes, and we gave them to people all along State Street, whether they were in need of pancakes or not. And pretty much every week since, we've been doing a hot meal for people.
Ever since, he's served 40 meals each Wednesday at the library and another 30 every Sunday at the Capitol. They serve hot, nutritious meals to people in need.
So now each year, their biggest fundraiser is just a day on the water, just like this, grilling for peace.
So what we have here is a peace sign in formation with Weber grills.
Paul's a busy dude, though. When he's not serving 70 meals a week, he's a dad of 2, manages and plays men's league baseball, basketball, and hockey. Plus, he's a special education teacher. This event will fund another year of food.
We're going to garner enough funds for kitchen rents, for supplies, and we're going to be able to do a hot, delicious meal.
Paul grilled for the Mallards back in the day, and he loves people. So he combined his 2 passions to make a change.
So we're trying to feed as many people as possible. We realize that there's a food insecurity pandemic going on in our community, and this is what we're doing to combat that.
Paul, too, isn't just feeding people anything, only the best. Organic chicken, leftovers from restaurants, sausages from Fraboni's.
No, I always say that giving back to people with food is one of the most important things I can do. It not only fills their stomachs, but it shows that you care about them.
On Lake Wingra, Ezra Banstra, News 3 Now.
Still ahead tonight at 10, grab your spoons and dig in as a different kind of Super Bowl took place today at Madison West for a special cause. We'll be right back here on News 3 Now.
When we designed the all-new Honda Pilot Trail Sport, we made it adventure ready. With features like an enhanced all-wheel drive system and off-road tuned suspension, so you can blaze new trails. The all-new Pilot Trail Sport, the most off-road capable Honda SUV ever. Visit your local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily. Buy online or reserve from select Honda dealers.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease?
Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
Turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. Plus, get free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-501-5956 or go online to buybionic360.com. Call now.
Ubrelvy helps you fight migraine attacks. You put it all on the line. You do it all. So you bring Ubrelvy. It can quickly stop migraine in its tracks within 2 hours without worrying if it's too late or where you are.
Unlike older medicines, Ubrelvy is a pill that directly blocks a protein believed to be a cause of migraine. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie can help you save. Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
A scam that tricks bank customers, stealing money from their accounts.
They try to get money as much and as fast as possible, and then they're gone.
News 3 Now is getting answers to help you avoid becoming the next target of bank imposters. Thursday at 10.
watching News 3 Now at 10.
Ahead of Super Bowl 57 next Sunday, this weekend there was a different kind of Super Bowl happening at Madison West High School. This afternoon, more than 200 gallons of soup was served up for a good cause. Now, this soup feast has been a Madison tradition since 1995 and is the largest fundraiser of the year for the UW-Madison student chapter of Habitat for Humanity Dane County. For just $25, you could fill up on soup, salad, and bread, and could even take home your own bowls, specifically designed by local artists.
Every year we have dozens of clay studios, local artists donate hundreds of bowls, if not thousands. This year we probably had over 1,000 bowls donated, which is really cool.
Local restaurants make donations to help make the Super Bowl possible, and a variety of entertainment was also on hand today as local bands and musicians performed during the event. You may have recognized some faces of the celebrity soup servers, such as News 3 anchors Chris Stanford and Brady Mallory. The Super Bowl also included a silent auction of artistic bowls created by local artists, as well as a raffle. Let's get a look at your first run forecast with meteorologist Julian Seray. Julian, a good day to sit inside with some soup.
Absolutely. I know Brady and for Chris, they were having a great time dealing with the wonderful weather that we have. So let's go ahead and start with our weather headlines in itself. The three things we're going to need to know, folks, is that we're going to be seeing these wonderful temperatures throughout the next few days, even going into next week. On top of it, we're going to be dry throughout the next, few days as well, until we get into about Monday nights. Then we're going to start to see some of that shower opportunity starting to roll its way in for us in our forecast. Rain and some wintry mixes are what we're going to be watching for over the next few days, especially later into next week. But for right now, tonight, it is a quiet one, and it is going to be a not so bad one in terms of temperatures. Looking ahead, 27 degrees now. We're going to be bouncing back and forth between the lower 30s, and on top of it, we're going to see even those middle 20s by the time we get into our Sunday morning. But for tomorrow, middle 30s, once again, going to be mostly cloudy and on the milder side once as well. Now, as we take a look at our tomorrow's temperatures around southern Wisconsin, many of us are going to be very uniform into those lower and middle 30s. Some sunshine looks to peak for some areas, but overall, we are looking for tomorrow to be a bit of a cloudy day. Now, walking through what we're going to see overnight, we're still going to have plenty of that cloud cover sticking around. Not much in terms of snowfall, but we are going to be looking at our friends to the far northwest, potentially having a small little burst of some flurries. But overall, Sunday is going to be quiet, and as we transition from Sunday night into Monday morning, we are going to be looking at those teens waking us up, but the 40-degree temperatures or even the lower 30s will be back as well. Trace amounts of snowfall, if anything, will be even close to measurable, and it's mainly going to be to the west and to the northwest. Not anything to really write home about. We're going to be seeing those milder temperatures that are going to really be the biggest story for us, but outside of that, what we're going to see is later into the week. So Monday night into Tuesday, we do have potential of seeing a system really bringing in some rain, mainly from Monday night into our Tuesday early morning. Then from Tuesday afternoon to Wednesday, it's going to be quiet. Wednesday night, however, we're looking for another potential system coming in from the south, starting to bring in some abundance of moisture. There's going to be some rainfall, and our friends to the north where the colder air is, we'll see a bit of some snowfall in northern Wisconsin and parts of Minnesota. But for Dane County and areas closer to the Illinois state line, we're going to be watching for rain and potentially seeing some wintry mixes carrying into our overnight Thursday and early Friday morning. We could see some flurries or potentially some snow showers as well. Here at the First Warned Weather Teams, what we're going to be watching for over the next few days, because our temperatures themselves are going to be into the middle 30s, lower 40s. Overall, it is going to be a forecast to fall in love with in terms of temperatures. However, we are still going to be watching going into our Thursday and Friday of next week for some wet weather that could be rather inconvenient, especially as we gear closer to the weekend. But at least temperatures will be rather nice for this time of year.
I still think my Valentine's going to be a fireplace and a blanket and some hot chocolate. But
I won't blame you.
It's a lot nicer than it was this week. It did feel very, refreshing.
Cupid knew what you wanted, McKenna, and he delivered early.
If only you could give me like 20 or 30 degrees more, that'd be perfect. But we're getting there, Cupid. We're getting there.
We're close.
All right, thanks, Julian. Robotic vacuums have been around for a while, and they're always popular gifts around the holidays. Maybe you received one, maybe you want one, or perhaps you've had the little robot running around your home for years. Either way, Consumer Reports has some great RoboVac options with helpful tips to get the most bang for your buck.
Dan Rychlowski writes about all sorts of smart home products for Consumer Reports. And just like you'd expect, he uses some of them in his own home, including a robotic vacuum.
I have a 3-year-old, and he is constantly making a mess. So yeah, having a robot vacuum is very nice for picking up after him.
There's no question that robotic vacuums are different from traditional upright or canister models, which is why Consumer Reports designed this special test lab to resemble a typical home living space. CR's experts test robotic vacuums to see how well they remove debris and how well they can navigate and clean rooms with obstacles like cords and carpet fringe. When it comes to getting the most from your robotic vacuum, CR says to start with a RoboVac's charging station called a dock.
When you're setting up a dock, you want to ensure it's on a hard level surface without any thick carpets or rugs or uneven surfaces.
Even better, create a docking zone with 3 to 5 feet of clearance on each side. The open space speeds up cleaning and helps the vacuum locate and return to the dock. Another tip, minimize as much clutter as possible.
Robotic vacuums see clutter as obstacles, so they can get trapped in clutter, or things can get stuck in the brush roll, or the robotic vac could run out of battery trying to navigate around clutter.
So keep things like power cords tied neat, including the one for the dock. If you're in the market for a robotic vacuum, you don't have to spend a fortune. There are several lower-priced models recommended by CR, like this one from iRobot. It gets excellent scores for cleaning bare floors and picking up pet hair. And this model from Eufy is an even bigger bargain. It gets top marks for cleaning bare floors, predicted reliability, and owner satisfaction. This is Marcy Whalen.
Another tip, Sierra officials say if your robotic vacuum doesn't have a self-cleaning dock, you should clean out the dirt bin after each use. So tonight, Bucks have certainly found their rhythm, able to make it 7 straight after tonight's game with the Heat. Jordan has those highlights coming up next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's the Hy-Vee Mega Meat Sale this Friday through Sunday. Fresh ground chuck, just $1.99 a pound. Chicken leg quarters, just 59 cents a pound when you buy a 10-pound bag. And Farmland Deli Sliced Ham, only $1.99 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
Spectrum just launched Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are! Why did you switch?
Because Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest download speeds in the nation.
And the advanced Wi-Fi has enhanced security and privacy features that automatically block online threats.
How reliable is Spectrum Mobile?
It's a super reliable service coast to coast.
Switch to Spectrum One and get internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and 1 free line of unlimited mobile. Call 1-833-861-4999.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife Wendy a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Our secret? At SelectQuote, we aggressively comparison shop up to 10 highly rated companies to find you the company with the best rates. Why pay more? Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Research shows people remember ads with a catchy song. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a little number you'll never forget.
Did you know that Liberty Mutual
only pay for what you need. Only pay for what you need. Custom home insurance created for you all. Now the song is done, back to living in your wall.
They're just gonna live in there?
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Got a good feeling about this, yeah, I'm with it. I got a good feeling about this, yeah, so let's get it. I'm feeling good vibes.
Surgenian's 93-year history means you pay $93 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet.
Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 12-month financing. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Don't miss the Hy-Vee Mega Meat Sale this Friday through Sunday. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve Sirloins, just $3.99. Boneless half pork loin, just $1.88 a pound. And Hy-Vee Choice Reserve Top Round Roast, only $2.77 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
Safe to say, Fill the Bowl didn't go as planned. Wisconsin women's hockey suffered a 1-0 shutout to St. Cloud State, which snapped the team's 4-game win streak and a 3-game win streak against the Huskies. While the Badgers returned to their home ice for the series finale this afternoon, St. Cloud State picks up where they left off, scoring early in that first period, so UW having to play catch-up. Caroline Harvey finds Jessie Comfort at the doorstep. She 5-holes it for the equalizer. And a minute later, it's Harvey who buries the go-ahead. Her 9th goal of the season gives Wisconsin the lead for good. They win this one 3-2 to split the series with SCSU. Just 2 series remain, and next up, it's the border battle. Badger men's hockey on the road this weekend, facing 6th-ranked Michigan. The Wolverines don't waste any time. Less than 2 minutes in, Dylan Duke buries the first goal of the game. Now, Michigan jumps out to a 3-goal lead in the first period. Well, then it's Tyson Jugnoff, plays hero for UW with this cleanup right here, cutting into the deficit. The opening period sees plenty of offense. It's 5-2 Michigan going into the first intermission, but the Badgers try to rally late, end up falling short, 7-4, the final. Giannis and company got 6 straight wins, and that's just the hot streak to have with a tough opponent coming to town. Bucks taking on the Heat naturally. Not a lot of separation on the scoreboard. It's tied up at 92. Chris Middleton gets the floater to go with less than a second in the third. Now, just a 4-point lead. The 3-ball comes into play. Javon Carter and Grayson Allen help the Deer start to pull away. And Giannis is going to cap the night with a jam. He's got a triple-double, and the Bucks make it 7 straight dubs. And checking in with WIAC Hoops, Whitewater facing Eau Claire this afternoon. Both teams pick up a win. The women with a huge upset, 84-52, making it 4 straight wins. On the men's side, Warhawks beat Eau Claire 89-77 for their 3rd straight win. And it's easy to point fingers and get frustrated when games aren't going to plan, when you're not winning. But that's not how the Badgers went about things during their rough stretch in January. Instead, they stuck together, held each other accountable. And clearly having that mindset and attitude, it paid off on Thursday night when the Badgers picked up their first win in over 2 weeks. A sigh of relief for the team, but also what Greg Gard would say is just part of trusting the process.
On my wall it says trust the process, and it's got some other stuff underneath it, but really it sounds coach cliche, but you have to trust what you're doing day in and day out, the people around you, your work that you put in for the past 10, 12 months prior to this season. All those things come in, and then you got teammates around you that support you, hold you accountable, but also pick you up and keep you connected together.
Badgers back home tomorrow night to host Northwestern. The Wildcats won the first meeting 2 weeks ago. Tip-off at the Kohl Center is set for 5:30.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Stay with us. We have another check of your forecast coming up when we return.
Prosecutor, now Circuit Court Judge, Janet Protasewicz.
On the Supreme Court, I'll be a common-sense judge. I'll protect public safety. I believe in a woman's freedom to make her own decision on abortion. It's time for a change.
Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It really is something. As an Expedia member, you can save up to 30% when you add a hotel to your flight. So you can have a bit more money to do even less. Because you've got a whole lot of nothing to do. And absolutely nowhere to be.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
You
Ubrelvy helps you fight migraine attacks. You put it all on the line. You do it all. So you bring Ubrelvy. It can quickly stop migraine in its tracks within 2 hours without worrying if it's too late or where you are.
Unlike older medicines, Ubrelvy is a pill that directly blocks a protein believed to be a cause of migraine. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie can help you save. Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
Your foundation doesn't improve the appearance of under-eye puffiness. Your concealer doesn't make fine lines disappear. Even worse, they can make those imperfections more noticeable. Introducing Tint and Tighten, a new lightweight tinted cream. Tint and Tighten works to smooth out wrinkles and under-eye puffiness in just 10 minutes while covering and concealing dark circles, age spots, and uneven skin tone, making you look and feel years younger.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of cover up and conceal things, but with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone, so you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
What's even better is that these remarkable results last for up to 8 hours without needles or injections. Want to look your best for that upcoming event? Maybe you simply want to feel younger and more confident with your appearance. Try it this Valentine's Day for only $19.95, plus get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
I'm voting for Judge Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court. She believes in our freedom to make our own decisions when it comes to abortion.
Extremists want to ban abortion, even in cases of rape and the health of the mother.
Judge Janet Protasewicz is the change Wisconsin needs.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
And finally tonight, just a reminder that you can see the Grammy Awards right here on News 3 tomorrow night. Join us at 5:30 for News 3 Now, and then afterwards at 6, a brand new episode of 60 Minutes debuts. And at 7, music's biggest night returns to LA for the Grammys. Then stick around for News 3 Now beginning at 10:30. I'm rooting for Harry Styles. He's nominated for 6. He kissed my cheek whenever I was 14. I think I was 14. No, I was 15.
Oh, okay.
So he probably doesn't remember me, but I remember him.
Yes, fond memory. Fond memory?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot nicer in LA, though. They have a much better red carpet night than we're having here.
Yes.
Although people think it's warm here.
Hey.
It might be t-shirt weather for a lot of people.
30s and 40s are in our forecast, folks. It's definitely going to be rather warm for this time of year.
All right. Thanks, Sean, and thanks for joining us tonight. Weekend Morning starts at 6:30.